They can't fix the history they did. Their ancestors made this country into a slave hell. But they can clean it up now because they got the Smithsonian. They can get rid of all the slavery stuff. They got PragerU. They can lie about the history to the children. They can't originally invent anything more than they ever were able to invent good music. We black folk gave y'all country music, hip hop, R&B, jazz, rock and roll. They couldn't even invent that, but they have to call a white man the king, because they couldn't make rock and roll. So they have to stamp the king on a man whose main song was stolen from an overweight black woman.
Really, Joy? Okay, I'll give you music. I'll give it to you. You got music, okay? And then I'll give you dancing. I'll give you that too. You see where I'm going with this? So I give you music, I give you dancing, I give you sports. These are just entertainment. Now, no offense to the people that love these three things that I mentioned. But when we talk about human productivity levels, none of those three things come into play. Now, nowadays, there are economic values to doing music, doing sports. And the last time I checked, the black people that do it exceptionally well have been paid really, really good money. Millions and millions of dollars. Now, when we take those three things aside, we are at the bottom of everything, like bottom, okay? And even worse, if you live in a country like this, where in 2025, if you can build and if you can innovate in this country, I know that for a fact. I'm an immigrant to this country, that I know this for a fact. If you have the skill to build, and by build, I mean anything, like technology, infrastructure. If you have the ability to build at a scale, you will get rewarded for it. Right now, the guys there are bidding wars going on for AI talent. Mark Zuckerberg just paid $100 million to some kid to help them advance their AI technologies. The last time I checked, in Silicon Valley, it's all Asians and white people. And that is one of the most liberal places in this country. The most liberal, really liberal to the core. Yet, you can just go there with ideas and come out a rich person. Okay, now black people build what? Joy, what did you build? Are you kidding me? Let's start with infrastructure. When I look outside my house, everybody that is building homes is an immigrant from South America. When I go into technology, it's Indians, Asians, other Asians, Nigerians, like you guys don't know, Nigerians, they're immigrants. But they make, on the nationality ranking scale, they are top 5 in information technology right now in the United States. So you all have people move from Nigeria to come to the United States and participate heavily in information technology, getting high salaries. If I go down to Prosper, some of the biggest homes are owned by people from Nigeria. They are my friends, so I know. Okay? What have you built? Let's go back to Africa. Have you been to Africa? I am from there. And I've been to a lot of the countries on the continent. You know, I always say how uniquely the same most of Africa is. Our cities are pretty much planned the same because they were planned by the colonialists. You know why they planned our cities? Because we didn't know how to plan them. We're living in huts and mud houses. About 40% of our villages, maybe 50% in most countries or more, are still thatch houses and mud houses. Till this very day. I'm telling you this as an African, no cap. Till this very day. There's cities and towns that don't have roads or even have potable water. You can't even have good water to drink. I used to take water to Africa from the US on a visit because every time I drank water there, my stomach would be rumbling for weeks. I would ship water from here. If I was going to Africa for 1 week, I would pack a suitcase of water with me to Africa. What the hell are you talking about? We can't even get water right. And then let's talk about electricity. Africa has what they call load shedding. Load shedding is partitioning electricity. They partition electricity. Okay? Right now, 2025, they do. So you're going to have light on Monday and you won't have light on Tuesday. Electricity, all of it. Those are your black people. They're rich, they got resources, but they can't seem to put it together. Okay, now let's fast forward to leadership. Let's list some black mayors in the United States. Branson Johnson, or whatever the hell his name is, Chicago. Have you seen what he's doing there? Horrible job. Like a 20% approval rating, even his own people. When liberals don't like you by 80% in a town that is that liberal, you've really failed. And what about the New Orleans mayor? She had a sick husband, and she was still getting a booty clapped by the head of security, her cop. Okay? And getting flown out and spending taxpayer money just to have some sex. This is your leadership. Then you have the fool down south right here, Jasmine Crockett, who lied to everybody that she grew up in a ghetto, but she actually had a middle class upbringing, an upper middle class upbringing. Go look at the district right down south, right here from me. Go look at the district, Joy. Go look. Go take a look. Okay? Tiffany Hayniard, another Chicago suburb beauty. Okay? This is your people. Mayor Bass in California. In a city that beautiful, how hard is it to be a mayor of? But she ran it down to the ground. Incompetent people. That's what you are. That's your record. See, I don't get into the whole race thing. I just look at your record. And I can make a fundamental claim that black women are horrible leaders because you're not supposed to lead in the first place. The whole thing of black female leadership is a liberal, cocked up bullshit. Nowhere in the world does this ever work. But you all think you can make this shit work. And that's why you're failing. You failed your boys. Half of them are in Angola, in prison, at their very youthful age. How can you build something when a big chunk of your population is committing crimes and are spending most of their active life in prison through crimes that they've actually committed, most of them violent crimes, killing children, women? That's your record. You can't build stuff when you're heavily occupied doing crime. Okay? Have you seen the Texas just put out the school rankings for this year? Go look at the schools in Tiffany's district, whatever her name is, Crockett's district. Horrible. Horrible, horrible. I bet my son can teach at those schools. That's how bad it is. Horrible schools, man. Some of them were downright Fs. I mean, how do you get an F ranking? You know what an F ranking is? The average test score there is at the 30th percentile. That's how horrible your districts are. The stuff that you run. So you can tell me, how do you run things or build things with no leadership? It doesn't work. But in your minds, you think it works. See, this is the problem with liberalism. They've said this over and over for people. It's a big liberal lie, but because they control a big chunk of the media, They've made people actually believe that black people built something. So where did all that built talent go? It just subsided, or all of a sudden the white man did something and you are not able to build anymore? Where did it go? It must have gone somewhere. Because right now you're at the bottom of everything. You're at the bottom of marriage rates. You're at the bottom of income. You're the highest on crime. Like, sometimes our existence is a menace to other people, man. Just us existing is a menace to a lot of people. It makes other people uncomfortable, and that's not racist. That's because that's our record. I don't know why I'm even putting myself into it. That's your African American record.